Okay, hello and welcome. In this video, I'd like to talk about something. I don't do enough of this with my students, but a lot of bass players are aware of it and play it. Tenths and sevenths. They really kind of go together if you think about it, how they would relate to the jazz pianist's left hand. So let's get started. So that's the general sound and vibe of them. They're tough to play in a way. I think they're really difficult. One thing about them is you can't really play them as double stops arco. So you really have to work them pizzicato. And it's very important to realize that you distort the natural hand position when you try to play them. In other words, if I'm just doing, for example, that was based around F major, what I was just playing there. And so there's two very different levels for the left hand to play the different strings. So in the E string, that's what I'm going for, kind of a straight line here. And for the A string, it's going to be something else. So when I'm playing both at the same time, there has to be a compromise. Got to be a bit of distortion. In terms of hearing the tonality, I would really suggest play the bottom note and then work the top note into it as you're getting the intonation. Fingering wise, there are a couple of choices. A major tenth could be played as I'm playing it right there, 1-3. Works very well. Now if I were to move up chromatically and play major tenths up, feels very nice, 2-4. And I could just keep that going all the way up. It is nice to go 1-3 and then go back to 1-3. But when we play diatonic scales, of course, we're looking at major tenths and we're looking at minor tenths. Now minor tenths can be played, I'm actually borrowing, getting both of them with my first finger here. I don't think you can borrow with the other fingers, I can't. So then the other option is to play 2 and 3. So that's about it as far as what I say. I don't really think I ever play 1-2, and I'm not too into 3-4. My 4 feels a little weak for that. So an F major scale then in diatonic tenths. Now here I could go 2-3 and then do the same thing here. And now I'm going to do 2-4. Same. This will have to be 2-3. It gets very difficult to play up here. And I'm going to do 1-3 there. This part of the instrument, you may not be ready to do all positions of that F major scale, but you work up to it. So then looking at sevenths in the same key, like if I start here and now I'm playing F on the A string. This is just beautiful. So I go right down. So as with the tenth, the major seventh is naturally feels good to play 2-4. Now with the minor tenth, the minor seventh, you could do it 3-2. You could also do it as a bar. I can almost make that happen. It feels a little risky to go 4-4 there. To play them together, I use a technique, it works nicely for me at least. I like to go 1 and 3, but obviously you can also play, that's nice too. So you get a lot of sound out of the scale this way. So of course when you combine them, now you can play chord progressions of tunes and work your way through tunes, and this establishes the solidity of the bass motion. 2-5-1 progressions, for example. Now there, feels better to me to go bar. So that's about it. So now I'll play a little bit of a tune, you know, Have You Met Miss Jones? So that's how you put it into action. It almost has a soloistic sound to it, but it's just basically a nice full sound that somebody can build something on top of. That's about it for right now. So practice them in all keys. And then in addition to playing them up and down, just start fooling around, start improvising. Oh, here's one more before I go. So diatonic cycle in the key of F. It's pretty low. So all we're doing is we're playing the scale in diatonic force. That root motion is just going 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. But at the same time, you're moving from major 7th for the 1 chord. Now we go to the 4, and we voice lead there. That's, I guess, the other thing I wanted to mention is keep the fingers down. So get into that a little bit. Don't get into it too much. Try to feel the same. Don't squeeze. Don't try to muscle it. Don't try to overpower it. You're getting it from the weight of the arm. The weight of the arm in conjunction with the bass falling forward. That's how you're able to do this. You can't muscle this. Don't do it. And so forth. So that's it for this particular video. I really hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Until next time, happy practicing.